Hello, beautiful. Welcome to day one of the Emergency Medical Folder Challenge. We, this week, are building our own emergency medical folders, and I'm going to show you how. Not only that, but I am going to give you downloads and all of the tools and techniques to make this super, super easy. So hopefully you are ready for this week of the challenge. Let me know in the comments who you are, where you're joining me from, and type that you're ready if you are, because I don't know about you, but I'm excited about this week. So already we see ladies here. Hi, lady from Lake Mary. Good to see you today. Glad to have you here. So today we are going to cover how the emergency folder is used, what it is, some examples of what situations you would use it in. We'll also talk about what supplies you'll need, because today's task, if you're registered, you got the task in your email. Today's task was just to gather your supplies. So I will share a printable supply list download with you, and we'll talk about those. And then also we'll wrap up with what to expect this week from the challenge, so you know what's ahead. But I promise I've broken all of this down for you into like little tiny baby steps, because you know me, small steps are the way to go, right? Awesome. So Wendy says she is here and ready. Lynn says kind of ready. That's okay. Hopefully by the end of today and this video, you will be very ready. I'm sure you will. Lori's here from Cleveland. She says she's ready. And Paula's here. Welcome, Paula. Pamela's here. She says ready from Durham, North Dakota. And Pam is here from California, and she's ready too. Fantastic. As you hop on, keep telling me who you are, where you're from, and if you are ready for this challenge. But let's dive in. So to start with, if you're not already registered for the challenge, it's free. So if you hop over, there's a registration link in the video description. So if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook groups or LinkedIn, within the description of this video, find the link to register, because when you do, not only will you get each day's task sent to you in your inbox each morning, just a super quick task for the day, but I will also send you a free download. It's a PDF download with fillable fields of all of the worksheets to build your own emergency folder. So that way you don't have to try to think about what to put into your folder. You don't have to create anything. It's all ready for you. So when you register for the challenge, you will get the download of those worksheets to make this week super, super easy. So hopefully that helps. I look forward to seeing you in your inbox. But let's talk really quickly about what is the emergency medical folder and how is it used? Like, why would you want the emergency medical folder? And just a reminder, the link for registering is in the video description. So find where there's the description. Underneath the video, you might have to click show more or more, and within there, there's the link. Okay, so this is one example of an emergency medical folder. Yours might look a little bit different depending on what supplies you decide to use. We'll talk about those today. But the purpose of the emergency medical folder is it is one place with all of your important medical and quick grab emergency information that you can take with you to doctor's appointments, if you have to go to the hospital, or if you have to evacuate, or if for some reason first responders have to come into your home and you're not able to communicate, then they will have all the important medical information. So this is an essential piece of, it's like a tool that will really help you, everything from doctor's appointments to hospital visits to first responders and emergency evacuations. So we will walk through what the emergency medical folder is. Really quickly, I wanted to share, I have a couple of people who've shared some stories with me about how they've used their emergency medical folder. Either they've done the challenge, or this is also part of, it comes with the full Spark Life Binder. So the Spark Life Binder is a tool that I sell. You don't have to buy it in order to do this week's challenge, but it is a tool that organizes all of your most important information and papers in one place. So the emergency medical folder is one small part of the Spark Life Binder that I'm giving away for free. The emergency medical folder part, that is. And it's a great way to see how these worksheets work and what it would be like for the full Spark Life Binder. At the end of the week, if you're interested in the Spark Life Binder, I will give you a chance to grab it, but that's not what this is about right now. this focus right now is about your emergency medical folder and how to build this for free. So quick walkthrough of the emergency medical folder so you know what to expect. Now, like I said, this is a sample. Basically, we grab, for the supplies that you're going to want to use, I like to grab the plastic, 3-prong plastic folders. Right now is the perfect time to grab them because school is about to let back in. So school supplies are on sale. And in some states, there are the tax-free days too. So you can grab these super cheap right now. But I like the plastic ones because they can withstand, being knocked around, dragged to every doctor's appointment. Anything that happens, they're just tougher. So a 3-prong plastic folder is what you'll want in order to put this together. But within the folder, you'll see I have the worksheets. These are the downloadable worksheets that you get when you register. So you just download them. You can type into them before you print them out, or you could print them out and just handwrite in them. That's what I tend to do. I tend to print mine out, handwrite all my information, and then later when I have time, I go back and type it, make it all nice and print a nice copy. But on the first page, there's a checklist, and it tells you the different pages that are within the different sections here. And it also gives you some ideas for items to include within a pocket folder within the binder. So we'll talk through this week about some of the different things you can put in the pocket folder, some ways to make it easier to enter your information, how to use a fillable PDF, how to keep this safe, where to store it. All of that will happen this week. And then within the folder itself on the worksheets, it starts with home emergency information. So this would be non-emergency contact information for like sheriff's office, fire department. If you have a landlord, your alarm company, pets, and special information that somebody might need to know if they were helping you evacuate or if they had to, heaven forbid, come in and take you to the hospital, then they would know the important information. And then there's one section for each person. So you'd print out this packet, the portion for each person, as many times as you have people. So I like to just add a divider for each person. As you can see, we'll talk about this later this week as well, but I like to add a photo of the person in front of their divider. In case first responders come and you can't communicate, they know which person is which within your folder. But within each person's section, it would have life-threatening allergies and conditions is what it starts with. So that's the first thing that the first responders see. Then it has all the information like health insurance, emergency contacts, if you have letters of instructions, healthcare surrogates, organ donation information, blood type, emergency contact information, local and family, any regular allergies and conditions that you might have, prescription information. So what prescriptions and supplements are you on? And vaccine information, what vaccines have you had and when, and then a great area for notes. And a lot of times I like to include at least one pocket folder within your emergency medical folder. That way, if you have new information to add that you can't write in right then, you can tuck it in there. Or I also like, later this week, I'll go more in depth into this, but I also like to add those prescription pages that you get from the pharmacy that have all the information about the prescriptions that you're on. I like to add that. And in my folder, I actually have one pocket per person behind their section so that I could put their prescriptions in it. But each person has their section. And then in the very back, what I like to add as far as supplies go, I like those business card holders, the 3-hole punch sheet protected business card holders. These are great for a copy of your health insurance card, a copy of any doctor's that you use, any type of business card where you can just kind of use it as supporting information. It's super easy to slide into one of these. And then in the back, I usually keep one big pocket. I'll talk about all the different things I like to keep in this pocket in case of emergency, but it's super handy to have one for the binder itself. So that is an overview of the binder. I don't know how many times I have gone into a doctor's office with this, or I've had to go to the hospital before as an emergency and had this. And all of the healthcare workers are so appreciative and amazed at how organized it is, how they have everything that they need in one place. So it makes their job so much easier and mine because I don't have to remember anything. I can either hand them this or read off information from it. So I will review really quickly what supplies you'll need, but that was a good overview of what the emergency medical folder is. So like I said, this is one part of the larger Spark Life Binder. So this does not have every single important piece of information about your life in it. That's what this has. That's what the Spark Life Binder has. So that would have finance and insurance, the more in-depth past medical history. It would have career, dependents. What else? It has so much basic information, real estate, end of life, legal and official, digital life. It has so much in the Spark Life Binder. This is focused on those emergencies, those hospital visits, the doctor's visits, the emergencies. So that is the emergency medical folder. Let's check the comments really quickly before I go on and we walk through exactly what supplies you will need. All right. And quickly, I wanted to say, let's see. Miss Expressions is here. Hi, good to see you. And you had asked about the just the link to register. Remember, it is in the description of the video. So I'm glad that you're here. Paula's here and she's ready. And Jerry, good to see you, Jerry. Well, see in quotation marks. And hey, Karen, Karen's here. Glad to have you. And we got another Karen. She says, thank you for this challenge. You're so welcome. And we have so many people who are ready to go. Love, love, love it. Mary and Frogso and Vicky. Frogso says, hearing thunder had outages last week. Hope I can watch all of this. You must be near me then, because I hear that thunder too. And hopefully my emergency backup power does not have to kick on. So hopefully we don't have outages too, because we had outages last week as well. I'm here in Central Florida, so I'm not sure where you're at. Peg says, she says, hi from Tennessee. She has version 7. Is version 7 the latest version? Yes, it is. So what she's talking about is on the worksheets that you'll be able to download during the challenge. You should already, hopefully if you've registered, you've already downloaded these. If not, that's okay. You can do that later today or tomorrow. But at the very bottom, it says V7. It's the same version as the Spark Life Binder. So this way we can always refer to what version it is. And if you have like the Spark Life Binder, you always get the core updates. So yes, it is the most recent. And Lori's on it. Lori says, yes, it is. Awesome. Love it. Judy's here and Lucy. Yes. Well, DP, she mentioned that she would not put the blood type. It's too much chance for error. It always needs to be verified. And it does. It's good to have in there as a reference, but any good healthcare provider would verify that and rerun a blood type test if possible. Now, if it was an emergency, I don't know if they did not have time to run a new type test. Would they run it, or would they just be appreciative to have that? Most likely they would just, use O negative blood, which is harder to find. But yes, most of the healthcare providers, they'll use that as a reference, but they will retype the blood before they would actually administer it, just because for legal purposes, they want to cover themselves too. Yes, Sylvia says, hello, I love this binder, documents in one place. Yes, awesome. I'm so glad that you love it. Oh, Marilyn says, I've ordered your binder. I've not received it yet. Hope it comes soon. It should be there any day now. So the Spark Life Binder, there was a recent promotion for people who owned the digital version, and we just sent out those the other day. So yes, and if you ever have any problems, Marilyn, you can always email me, hello@susannak.com, and we will fix anything like as immediately as we can. Hey, Mary. Mary's here from Pennsylvania. Mary says, another Mary says, when I downloaded the worksheets, the red headings didn't show up. That is strange. That's the first time I've heard that one. Will you do me a favor and shoot me an email at hello@susannak.com, and we can see if we can troubleshoot that for you. It might just be a setting on your computer or something, but we'd love to help you out. I'm always here for that. All right. So just a reminder, if you've not registered, that's how you get the worksheets download. And there are some other downloads and things happening throughout the week. Next, we're going to talk about in depth about the supplies that you'll need. So another thing, if you're registered, then you will have access to the challenge schedule page. The challenge schedule page has everything listed on it. So it would have a copy of that day's task. It has a copy of all the downloads, links to any lives. It's super easy, one place in case you miss anything during the challenge or to keep track. So when you register, you also get that. But on that challenge schedule page, you'll find that you have a printable supply list there for you. So that's another free download for this week. So with the supplies, there's also a link of my favorite things store, by the way, in the video description that shows you some examples of these supplies. But some of the things that I recommend, like I mentioned, the red 3-prong folder. Like I said, I prefer it to be the plastic folder because it just holds up better. And then one either tabbed divider, or you can use like a Post-it tab per person. So we just want some way to divide each person's section. And then, of course, printer paper. You can even get the 3-hole punched paper that's already punched for you, which is kind of nice. You may use sheet protectors if you want to. Now, I don't use sheet protectors in mine because I really like the ability to just open it up and quickly grab a pen and make a change on a page without having to take it in and out of a sheet protector. But if you prefer to use sheet protectors, you absolutely can. I do like to have, let's see, I told you about, sorry, I'm reading through the list, the large document holder. I like to have at least one of these, the large pocket folders, because we'll talk about some of the different things that you can keep within here. And one of the things I also like to have is a little flash drive. That way you can have the digital copy and it's super easy to update it because it'll all be in one place. And then, of course, optionally, a label for the front of the folder. And I like to have the business card holder sheets. But that's it. This can be as complex or as simple as you like. You probably have some of these things already around your house, or somebody that you know probably does. So it's very, very easy to set up. I like my folder to be red because it stands out for emergency personnel. And there's something about red, we think emergencies, and that's a color that we tend to look for. So I like red. It does not have to be red if you prefer it not to be. Sound good? All right, so here's an example from Laurel. I got this email a while back. She says, hello, I've done this challenge and I just used it this past week. This is from earlier in January of 2022. She says, unfortunately, COVID found me and I needed to call 911. The EMT and the ambulance was so excited to have my binder to look at. She said she did mention that the only thing she mentioned is there's no spot for the date of birth or social security number, which we will talk about that later this week when we talk about keeping it safe and what to include and not to include. So we'll talk about that during one of the live videos. She says, and then that, it was wonderful. Thank you. So that's an example where she had to call 911 and she was able to grab this and hand it to the first responder, and they had everything that they needed right there. Another example from Rosemary, and she allowed me to share her picture. Isn't she cute? I love it. Rosemary's just wonderful. But Rosemary had sent me an email, and as you said, she allowed me to share this. She says, I used your medical folder the other day. It happened like this. And I'll summarize. Her husband was not feeling well. He started to get pale and unsteady, and he was stuck in the shower when he was feeling this way. So he was sitting on a shower stool. She knew that she could not manage to get him out and make sure that he was safe herself. So she called 911 and stayed with him to reassure him. And he was not really aware of everything that was going on. So when the first responders came from 911, several first responders went and helped them in the bathroom, while one of them, kind of the data collector, went into the kitchen area, and he had grabbed the red pocket folder, her emergency medical folder. He'd found it because this week I will tell you how to make sure that they see where it's at. She found it because she had it noted where to find that. So they grabbed that. And let's see, she said he grabbed the red folders, the pocket folder from beside her fridge. It had the copied pages from the life binder and all the information that they needed, plus a photo of the two of them looking happy. Why not both of us? I do that too. Also, his past medications, past history, permission not to resuscitate, etc. She did not have to tell them anything. And since the scribe, first responder, looked for the information on the refrigerator, she knew that that was a great place to have a copy. So this can be so helpful. She did not even have to tell them where the folder was. They automatically looked because they are trained to do this. Later this week, we are going to talk about where to store this along with how to keep it safe and how to make sure that first responders know where to find it easily. So those are two examples of how this can be really useful. Hopefully you never have to experience this, but it's nice to know that if something were to happen, then you would have everything that you needed right there for it. Now, really quickly, Sylvia says, I forgot how I can download more pages. So the easiest way to download more pages is when you register, then you will get the worksheet download sent to you. So you can actually choose to print only specific pages. So whenever you hit print for your printer, just tell it which pages to print. So if you wanted to print the whole packet and then just specific pages, wanted to print a couple extra of specific pages, then you can print just those. Later this week, I think it's Thursday, possibly, I will be talking about how to use a fillable PDF, how to download and print, and all the technical side as well. But Sylvia, I believe you also have the full Spark Life Binder. So for you, when you log into your online library, then you can find the full download again anytime. And it's always going to be the most up-to-date version. So when you log in, go to SusannaK.com and log in to your online library, find the Spark Life Binder, and then download that. And that's an easy way to download the pages and print out just whatever you need of the most up-to-date version, which you'll always have if you have that digital copy. So hopefully that helps answer that question. All right. So like I mentioned, to download the printable supply list that I was talking about, make sure that you're registered, and that will be on the challenge page, or it's also in the video description. So there's a link to it right there as a gift just for watching this video with me. And let me know if you're enjoying this challenge so far. Give me a heart, comment in the comments of this video, anything like that, just to let me know if this is something that you're excited about and that you think is going to be useful. So finally, I wanted to talk about what to expect from this week. So the goal, by the end of this week, you will not only have your emergency medical folder set up, you'll have this set up very, very quickly because you already know what supplies you need now, and you have the worksheets, so you could actually already assemble it on your own right now. But what I'm doing throughout this week, each day in the morning, you'll have a quick task by email with one more step of putting this together, getting it filled out, and how to kind of update it and make it accessorized so it's going to be even more useful. So the rest of the week is going to be focused on how to keep it safe, how to use a fillable PDF on the technical side. We will talk about my tips and tricks for things to include in the pocket folders, additional information to include, all of that good stuff. So when you're registered each morning, you'll get that quick task in your email, super fast task for the day. I'll also share free downloads sometimes throughout the week, such as the printable supply list, worksheets, things like that that will help you out. Almost every day, there is a live session. It's daily-ish live sessions. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 1 p.m., just like today, we will have a live session going into one topic to help you with your medical folder. Then Thursday, it will be 11 a.m. Eastern time, because that's when our normal Thursday talk is. So our Thursday talk will include that. Friday, we're back at 1 p.m. Eastern time again for a live. Saturday, instead of a regular live video, we're actually going to work on it together. So there's going to be a live public group hike. I call my productivity work sessions group hikes. And you can join me between 11 and 1 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. You'll get more information in your emails. You can join me and we can work on putting this together, finishing up anything that's not finished yet. I will be right there with you to help guide you along and answer any questions. I'll have music on. We'll do little quiet work sprints with music and then answer questions and make it a really productive day for putting together your medical folder or any productive task you want. And then on Saturday, there will be a recorded video that will release at 1 p.m. Eastern time to finish it all off. And then throughout the week in the Facebook, the Home Organizing Challenges group on Facebook. I believe that link's also in the video description. You see the theme here. It's always in the video description as well. But in that Facebook group, you will be able to join discussions. We'll be talking about tips and tricks and sharing photos of our emergency medical folder fronts and the supplies that we have and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you wanted the community and the discussion feel, hop over to the Home Organizing Challenges Facebook group. And then I told you about the public group hike on Saturday. Now, if this seems overwhelming, remember when you register, I do send you the link to the challenges schedule page that has all this information there for you. So you don't have to write this down, remember anything, find any links. Just bookmark that one link that I send you in that first email for the schedule page, and everything is outlined for you and super, super easy for you to find every day. So hopefully this helped. So let me know in the comments, what small step do you plan to take today? What's your small step that you're committing to today? And I'm going to hop over the comments really quick, and then I'll do a recap for you of what we talked about. Lady says, thanks. Love it. And I have big hearts from Pam and from Vicky. And Karen says, thanks to love it. You're so welcome. This is one of my favorite challenges. I have about 3 favorite challenges, and this is in my top 3, just because I love hearing the stories of how it was so helpful, especially just with things like doctor's appointments, how it's made it so much easier. I heard from Peg the other day how she used to bring her prescription bottles and vitamin bottles with her in a bag. And now she doesn't have to, because she's got it all in here, and she brings this and she's got that and so much more. So it just made her life so much easier. So Sherry, her small step, she's going to print and review the worksheets. Love it. Mary is going to print the worksheets. Oh, Lori, she says she got sick Saturday night. She's sleeping a lot and she might have to watch the replays because she's going back to bed. I think that's a good small step, is take care of yourself first. Yes. Lady says that she's going to put all of her supplies together. Yay. Love it. All right. So a quick recap. We talked about the emergency medical folder. We did a walkthrough, how it's used. You bring it to doctor's appointments, hospitals, first responders can help with it. In case of an emergency evacuation, you grab it really quickly. We talked about the supplies that you'll need. And remember, there's a link in the video description for a printable supply list that you can use. The supply list has also been sent to you by email and is on that challenge schedule page if you are registered. And we talked about what to expect for this week. We talked about that if you are registered, then you will get access to that challenge schedule page that has all of this in one place. So you don't have to try to remember any of this. Just remember that one page. But each morning you will get a task sent to you by email, and this is like a 5 to 10 minute task. You get the free downloads. You get the worksheets for creating your folder. You get supply lists. There's a checklist that I share later on. You get the daily-ish live sessions. I'm live every day except for one day where it's pre-recorded. You get access to the Facebook group where we're discussing and sharing and having a lot of fun over there, building our emergency medical folders. And you'll get the invite to join me for the public group hike on Saturday where we can work together. So that's what you can expect for this week. And by the end of the week, not only will you have your emergency medical folder set up, but it will be awesome. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And all of this is free. So by the end of the week, you will have put together your emergency medical folder. You'll know where to store it, how to tell people where to find it, how to keep it safe, all the tips on things to include in the pocket folder, additional information to include, and all the good stuff. So are you ready to rock this week? Because I know that you are going to do amazing things. Amazing things. Really quickly, in the chat, let's see. So Lady, I just mentioned, she's putting her supplies together. Wendy says, great, she's reviewing, and now she's helping her sister to make an emergency medical folder too, because Wendy must already have yours set up, which I love it. So this is also, if you already have yours set up, it's the perfect week to check through, make sure that everything's accurate, fill out anything that might be missing. And I've got some extra tips from last time of things to include in pocket folders and all those bonus tips. Lady sends Lori some love. Yeah, we hope you feel better quickly, Lori. She says she got sick during the concert that she went to. Joan says she's going to see if she already has a folder. You probably do. At least, if nothing else, you can find something that will work temporarily until you happen to be out and can grab one. So sometimes just the rough first draft is perfect. Marilyn is going to try to find the sheets that she printed before remodeling the basement. Oh, good. Love that. Karen's working on her son's section within her emergency medical folder. Good. Lori asks, are replays available? That's a great question. Yes. You can find replays on the YouTube channel. And when you're registered and you have that challenge schedule page, there are links for every single day's replay right on that challenge schedule page as well. So in order to watch the replays, that's all you need. All the content will be available until the end of next week. So just make sure you've got 2 weeks to make it through all of this content. I wanted to give you extra time. And the live part is only this week, though. Paula says, I'm excited about creating my medical emergency binder. Thank you so much. I will print the worksheets today. Yay! Love it. Good question here. Frogzo says, should each sheet be printed separately or can both sides of the paper be used? You know, it can be either way. That's simply personal preference. For me, I've done it both ways. I personally tend to do the two-sided pages when I print them out, only because that way it makes my folder thinner. So I like using both sides of the sheet. It also saves some trees. But if you prefer just one-sided, that's not a problem. Do whatever works for you. Good question. Peg, Lori, she says, Lori, I was just typing a question about replays. Yay, it must have been a great question. So if you're not already registered, make sure register today. And the link is in the description because that way you can get the worksheets and the challenge schedule page and all of the good stuff. And I will see you over in the Facebook group, and I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. for our next live session. Tomorrow we will be, I believe tomorrow we are talking about assembling the medical folder, I believe. But don't hold me to that. I would have to look at and make sure. Actually, I can look right here. Oh, no. Tomorrow, I can tell you this really quickly. So tomorrow during the live session, we are talking about what information that you want to include in this and what information not to include. So like I mentioned before, I did not include date of birth or social security number. I'll tell you why. And I'll also tell you what types of things to make sure to include. And then on Wednesday at 1 p.m. during our live, I will be talking about how to fill in and save the fillable fields in your PDF. That download, you can type into it. So I'll talk about how to do that, how to download it, all the technical side of your downloaded sheets and how to use those. Then on Thursday, remember it's at 11 a.m., not 1 p.m. We're talking about how to create and assemble your emergency medical folder. So how to put it together. And then we're going to talk about those tricks and tools to make it even easier to fill in and more effective, and the best tool to organize all the rest of your important papers. Friday at 1 p.m. during the live, we will be talking about how to store your emergency medical folder. So where to store it at, how to notify first responders so that they can find it, but still keeping it safe. Saturday, we're not doing a regular live. That's going to be our public group hike. We will work together on any project that you have that's productive. You can, prep dinner, you can organize your closet, or you can finish off your emergency medical folder with us during the live group hike from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. And then on Sunday, you will have a pre-recorded video wrapping it all up, making sure that you know how to keep it safe, how to back it up, taking what you learned from the emergency medical folder and applying it to the rest of your important papers. So I have a free resource available that I will share later this week about how to build your own Spark Life binder. If you did not want to grab mine, then how to build your own for free. So stay tuned all week. Check that challenge schedule page so that way you can see what the links are for each day, what's happening when, and you're going to do amazing. Peg says her tip, I love it, invest in 3-hole punched paper. I love having 3-hole punched paper. It saves me time not having to punch all those sheets. So I agree, Peg. Thank you. Lori says, so glad I already started filling out the emergency medical folder back in January. So I will update and fill in sections not filled in yet. I'll work on it when I feel better. This is a perfect opportunity to take your time, Lori. As usual, baby steps. There's no rush, and you've absolutely got this. Well, thank you, beautiful. I'll see you tomorrow in the live and today over in the Facebook group. If you need anything at all, email me at hello@susannak.com, and you've got this. Make today amazing. See you soon. I love you. Bye-bye now.